Frankie Russo. I'm live over here, YouTube, and I'm about to go live. I'm live on Facebook. It's kind of it's afternoon. I'm trying this afternoon thing out. I don't know how it's gonna work because I got the sun behind me. So I'm trying to. I'm gonna try this afternoon thing. I don't know how this is gonna play, but it doesn't look too. I don't know. But anyway, Frankie Russo over here, straight out of Brooklyn, checking in with you all. It's been a few, about a little over, it's been over a week. So I just wanted to check in. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I was watching the Democratic debate, crazy stuff. I watched the baseball trade deadline, crazy stuff. So I'm going to do a quick hit, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to do quick hits, 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. We'll see how it goes, okay? So first of all, we'll talk baseball quick. Yankees, Giants are in camp. We'll talk as we get closer to the football season. We'll talk Giant football and NBA's in the summer league. So we're closer to the next season. We'll start talking more about the hoops. Right now, we're in the middle of the baseball season. I think it's like 60 games left, something like that. We just had the trade deadline. The Yankees couldn't pull the trigger on a starting pitcher, let alone a relief pitcher. So, hey, I think GM Cashman is a fabulous GM. He knows what he's doing. Let's be honest. Look what he's built, the team that he's built. We never actually, in our history, the Yankees really don't develop. Absolutely, Baruch. Absolutely. God bless you. So, but the Yankees really don't develop. We don't. Starting pitching, Ron Guidry, Andy Pettit, Luis Severino, we usually buy the pitching, right? Because we don't have the time to wait, because the Yankees are always like in the win. We develop, we fix everyday plays from other teams. We develop our young players from the farm, and then we usually end up buying a lot of our pitchers. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them, right? So GM Cashman tried to deliver. He would have overpaid if it was Max Scherzer, if it was Bumgarner, if it was DeGrom, if it was Greinke. Greinke didn't want to come here. He had no trade clause. Bumgarner didn't want to come here, and the Mets wanted to fleece us with Syndergaard, who's a good pitcher, but he's not an A pitcher yet. He could be an A pitcher, and Scherzer wasn't on the table. So the Yankees would have overpaid for those, but they're not going to overpay for Robbie Ray. I was looking at it. He had 115 and 5 seasons his entire career. I mean, he's a nice pitcher, nice B+ pitcher, but we're not gonna Cashman's not gonna fleece the Yankee with Clint Frazier and 3 prospects for Marcus Stroman. It ain't gonna happen. So we put that to rest, right? So the Yankees we gotta leverage. We gotta get Severino and Betances, put them in the bullpen like Severino said he'd go into the bullpen. I don't think he has enough time to build himself up to be a starter. So we leverage, like we said last year up on the scope, we leverage the bullpen. That means like Houston is going to put their assets on the table. Verlander, Greinke, and Cole. Boston's going to put their assets on the table. Evaldi, they're going to put Sale, Price, and Porcello on the table. We got to put our assets on the table, right? That means Chapman, Ottavino. That means Cayley. That means Britton. That means Chad Green's got to get tight. He's got to tighten his mechanics up, get that four-seamer going. And then we get Betances over there. We get Severino over there. And then we get a little Loizaga, a little Debbie Garcia, and we leverage this thing. So we got, instead of bringing in Ottavino and Cayley like he did in Boston, we're losing 8-3. You bring him in the second inning. Instead, we can't let these games get out of hand anymore. Booney's done a great job with the team overall. I got to give him credit. The whole team was on the DL and we're in first place. I tip my cap to you, Booney. But now you want to go to the show, we got to leverage the bullpen. And we got to play each game like it's the last game. We got to start with August to develop how we're going to manage this bullpen through the playoffs. Because the only way we're going to win this thing, it's going to be through the bullpen. We don't have the starters to win this. We can't go the traditional route. We gotta go at this thing through the bullpen. And that's it, man. So that means we start with Tanaka when it gets close. With the grace of God, we're in the playoffs. It starts with Tanaka, and we can't give away 5 runs off the jump. We can't wait for a 3. We can't give them a 3-run spot. We got to play Sparky Anderson, Captain Hook. Booney's got to give us his best Sparky Anderson, Captain Hook that he's got. And then we got to do this, man. We got to leverage the Yankee bullpen. I'll talk about more of this tomorrow. But that's going to be the start of my Yankee talk tomorrow. We got to weaponize the Yankee bullpen. It's got to happen. That's the only way we have a shot to win this whole thing. We can't rely on Happ, Tanaka. CC's not what he was 10 years ago. Forget it. He was unbelievable. He's still a good pitcher, but he's not what he was. And who else? Domingo Germán. He's a 5-inning pitcher. Either Domingo Germán's going to throw more fastballs and go up, down, and out with the fastball because he throws 44% fastballs and almost 60% curveballs and power changeups. It's ridiculous. He only goes 5 innings. So either he's going to throw more fastballs or he's going to do the Zach Greinke thing. Throw a 65 to 70 mile an hour breaking ball, and he can do it. So that's my take on the Yankees. Now we're going to kick to my response to the Democratic debate last night. Loony bin, right? Absolute loon jobs, right? But what really was beyond belief and why I thought it was absolutely very dishonest by the Democrats saying that President Trump supports Al-Qaeda. I think that's really, really dishonest. Like, that's not looking at what really is going on. That's like not even drilling down. That's like ridiculous. And these people want to run for and become president of the United States. Quite frankly, I mean, it is beyond belief what these Democrats said about our great president last night, claiming that he supports Al-Qaeda. Now, let's do a little drill down. President Trump takes over in January of 17. And what happens? North Korea is launching missiles every month, right? Iran's launching ballistic missiles every month. And they're saying, we're doing nothing wrong. It's not in the Obama fake Iranian nuke deal. So President Trump's going like this. I solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. As he's doing this, North Korea and Iran are launching missiles. President Trump's going, what the heck is going on over here? So after a while, in 17, President Trump's calling Rocket Man what he is, Rocket Man, right? I guess the money kicked in. The money that the Obama Clinton crime family gave Iran kicked in, and it emboldened North Korea to launch those missiles. Iran did not, the Obama Clinton crime family did not include the Iranian ballistic missile program inside the Iranian nuke deal, so it was fake. There's no way you're going to stop. There's no way you're going to stop. No way. Iran's will to proliferate, but we can slow them down, right? I'm not going to lie. It's hard. But the premise of the deal doesn't do that. It doesn't slow down Iran. As a matter of fact, it accelerates it. They're building nuclear reactors with Russia inside of Iran under the Obama-Clinton crime family. The last time I checked, they were on their second one. Netanyahu, with the Mossad thing, got the Iranian atomic energy files, and guess what? They're developing, unfortunately, they're developing nuclear weapons, is Iran. Now, President Trump gets inaugurated in 2017. One of the first things he did, I think it was in January or February, he calls for the Riyadh summit. So he does, okay, he draws the line. He picks the side. So whose side you going to be on? Congresswoman Gabbard from Hawaii that calls out President Trump from that, saying President Trump supports Al Qaeda. Whose side are you going to be on? President Trump has a Riyadh summit, forms an alliance with Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Okay? The other side to this thing is Hezbollah, Iran, and Russia. Okay, Congresswoman. Okay, Democrats. Whose side are you on? We know you're down with Palestinian Authority, Hamas, and we know you love that fake Iranian nuke deal. So I guess you all are basically with Hezbollah, Iran, and Russia, right? I think that's fair to say, and I guess that's why the elephant in the room is that they are the real Russian colluders, quite frankly. Now, taking this a step further and drilling down furthermore, right? To say that President Trump, I mean, it's really because the argument that the Democrats like to say is, well, from September 11, 2001, 15 of the 19 hijackers are Saudi nationals. I get that a lot. I say, wow, okay. So I'm not going to lie. There are Saudi nationals that probably sympathize, at the very least, with the hijackers from the horrific hit on the World Trade Center. Probably right. And I point toward Prince bin Talaweed, right? Muslim Brotherhood, right? Muslim Brotherhood got thrown, Saudis threw out Muslim Brotherhood out of the Saudi Arabia. There was a big thing in Saudi, as there was a big thing in Egypt when they couped Morsi, right? Morsi was Muslim Brotherhood. This is a very bad group, right? Very bad group. Radicalism is very bad, right? Muslim Brotherhood is very bad. And they've aligned, apparently, with the Islamic Republic of Iran. And it goes all the way back to Sudan in the 90s with Hassan al-Tarabi, with Osama bin Laden, with Ayman al-Zawahiri from Al-Qaeda, with Omar Abdel-Rahman, Abdel-Hakim Belhaj, Mustafa Jalal, probably, Noman Benoitman. It goes on. Abu Yahya al-Libi, Al-Qaeda foreign fighters, Sunni Shiite nexus in Sudan, right? It started in the 90s. Basically, the Iranian global terror network, right? It all started, what up, Dan? It all started in the 90s, right? So this thing has metastasized where for Iran to gain regional hegemony inside the North African Middle Eastern region, it's a 9-to-1 Sunni to Shiite. So Iran is not going to, the thirst Iran has for regional hegemony, it's not going to happen unless Iran partners with a Sunni, they get a Sunni partner. That Sunni partner is, based on the 1990s, Muslim Brotherhood. So let's look at it. The Obama-Clinton crime family, right? 8 years before our great president, Donald John Trump, takes over. What do? The Obama-Clinton crime family, an American ally, Mubarak, pro-America, pro-Israel. Obama coups him. The Obama-Clinton crime family coups him, puts in Morsi, Muslim Brotherhood. The Obama-Clinton crime family throws out wax Gaddafi, right? They give 20,000 manpads, Soviet manpads, to the manpads, the missiles that are the 6-foot missiles. Mustafa Jalal, Abdel-Hakim Belhaj, Muslim Brotherhood. Okay? Now, Omar al-Bashir, Hassan Tarabi, Muslim Brotherhood. Osama bin Laden, Muslim Brotherhood. Ayman al-Zawahiri, Muslim Brotherhood. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Shiite, the Sunni Shiite nexus, right? What does President Trump do? So Obama is empowering Muslim Brotherhood. Obama is giving 150 billion, 1.7 billion to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. He's actually money laundering 1.7 billion in cash, brings it into euros to give it to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. By the way, President Trump sanctioned the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. First time in U.S. Treasury history, our great president sanctions a government entity, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. And guess what? So President Trump is pulling out of the Iranian nuke deal. You better believe it. He sanctions Mohammad Javad Zarif yesterday or today, the main negotiator on that fake Iranian nuke deal, and he goes all the way back to the 650 Fifth Avenue case when he was the executive director and the Iranian ambassador to the UN in the early 2000s. He was the executive director, and they got the entities, the Assa Corporation, Bank Melli of Iran, and Assa Corporation, Bank Melli, and the Alevi Foundation own interest in this 650 Fifth Avenue building, which was originally owned by the Shah. Mohammad Javad Zarif was the executive director at one time of this Alevi Foundation. And he was, according to the Weekly Standard at the time, he was knee deep in all of the money laundering for terror all the way to the Islamic Republic of Iran from the United States. Well, they got it, the DOJ got involved. We took possession of the building. The mullahs tried to appeal it. They lost. We own the building. And the proceeds from the building are supposed to go to the families of the victims of the Iranian terror attacks. But the point is, Mohammad Javad Zarif is one of those ambassadors, because what we're going to talk about later on, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iran is one of those ambassadors that aid and abet radical Islamic terror from Iran. And this 650 Fifth Avenue case, which was a landmark money laundering case for terror in this nation's history, right? Mohammad Javad Zarif was was heavily involved, but he was never prosecuted. Weekly Standard could not believe that Mohammad Javad Zarif wasn't at all implicated in the 650 Fifth Avenue building, money laundering for terror, all the way to the Islamic Republic of Iran from the United States. It's almost as big, if not as big, as the Holy Land Foundation trial. So here we have it, President Trump pulling out of the fake Iranian nuke deal, drawing a line and picking a side, which he has to do in the North African, Middle Eastern region, where he's with Israel. He's established brought back a strong relationship with Israel. He has Saudi Arabia involved, and he has the major player, the major Egypt in the geopolitical landscape of the North African, Middle Eastern region is a big player. And he's got Egypt, Sisi, at that summit. So, unfortunately, the Democrats are so gone. They're with the Palestinian Authority, Hamas. They're with Palestinian Authority, Hamas is the Palestinian branch of Muslim Brotherhood. They're with Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. Because in the North African, Middle Eastern region, President Trump's saying, you know what? We're going to bring in Israel. We're going to bring in Israel with Saudi, and we got Egypt. That's going to be our coalition against Iran, Hezbollah. Iran's killed too many Americans, too many American servicemen, too many. They've actually tried to kidnap an ambassador from the U.S.-Mexican border in 2011 with General Soleimani. So the crazy thing about this whole argument is the Democrats don't make any sense, calling our great president an Al-Qaeda supporter, and it's the complete opposite, right? And as far as the logic of their argument, that 15 of the 19 Saudi nationals, the 15 or 19 9/11 hijackers were Saudi nationals. That is, they're not really drilling down. Okay, Let's go first locally. Omar Abdel Rahman, the blind sheikh. I got Ramzi Youssef. I got Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, right? I got Abu Alima. I got Mohammed Salah. Mohammed Salah was the guy that provided the 200 gallons of diesel fuel to blow up buildings and kill Americans. Abu Alima came from Egypt and by way of a visa waiver, then used the amnesty and claimed that he was a South Carolinian farmer, ended up being a major perpetrator in 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Sajid Ali is from Sudan. He was the point guy. He was the blind sheikh's major translator. And then you had the Sudanese mission. They all got sent back home because they were working with the radical Islamists in reference to the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, casing New York. This is according to Andrew McCarthy, blind sheikh prosecutor. Casing New York, casing Jersey, casing Connecticut to blow up buildings and kill Americans, right? We had this guy, what's his name? Mohammed Ahmed Youssef, an actual diplomat. He got sent back. He was working with the radical Islamists. What about Anwar al-Awlaki? What about Saeed Farouk Tashfin Malik, San Bernardino shooters? What about the Omar Mateen, Orlando pub shooter? What about Fort Hood shooter, Major Hassan? What about the Boston Marathon bombers, right? What happened in Mandalay Bay? We don't even know, right? They're not from Saudi, right? Oh, yeah. Then I got none of those cats that I mentioned are from Saudi. What about Mustafa Jalal, Abdel Hakim Balhaj, Ben Kumu, Mohammed Jodaki, Khalil Harab? We got Ben Kumu. We got Abu Khatala. They arrested him. The United States arrested Abu Khatala for Benghazi. Libyan. These are not from Saudi. Abu Yahya Libby's not from Saudi. Anwar al-Awlaki's American born. He's Yemen. Where's the argument there? Right? So what about Hezbollah? Hezbollah's 200 Marines, the Beirut bombing, Shiite. They're not Saudi. They're not Saudi. The bombings in North Africa, in Kenya, those were, Iran was involved. That's Shiite. What about General Soleimani? There, that's the Quds Force, right? The Quds Force has been killing Americans, right? And Hezbollah, the Iranian global terror network. So I don't understand. The argument, what up, Dan? The argument is beyond belief, right? Beyond belief. Beyond belief with these Democrats. These Democrats make no sense. Now, I'm not saying that this guy, Prince bin Talaweed from Saudi Arabia, he was Muslim Brotherhood. He wasn't, maybe he funded some of this horrific hit on us on September 11, 2001. Maybe he did. I don't know. Because I know he's part of that. He sympathizes with the radical Islamists. He came to New York and tried to give $100,000 check to our great mayor, Giuliani, and our great mayor, Giuliani, told him to stick it. Yeah. The buildings got knocked down, and he came and he said it was America's fault, and he said it to him. He said it to the mayor. He said it, basically, I'm paraphrasing it. He said it to the mayor, it's America's fault. Here's $100,000. The mayor told him to take that check and stick it. That's what he did. God bless our great mayor, Mayor Giuliani, because this de Blasio was a joke. But anyway, so the argument that, it's all the Saudis is ridiculous, right? And you got Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is from Pakistan. Ramzi Youssef, his nephew, is from Pakistan. Abu Alim is from Egypt. Sajid Ali's from Sudan. Omar Abdel Rahman is from Egypt. This is crazy, right? We got all those radical Libyan Islamists that the Obama Clinton crime family put in power. They're involved. I mean, it's crazy, right? They're not from Saudi because the argument that the Democrats are saying is that 15 of the 9/11 hijackers are Saudi nationals. Why is President Trump? Because they're trying to equate. You see, this is what bothers me. They're trying to equate with President Trump's policy with the Obama Clinton crime family policy. Because what they're not telling you what the Obama-Clinton crime family policy did. Not only did they throw out Mubarak and put in Morsi, Muslim Brotherhood, they whacked Gaddafi. They gave the Muslim Brotherhood operatives 20,000 Soviet manpads. That's missiles. They shoot airliners out of the sky with these missiles. And 200 FIM-92s did the Obama-Clinton crime family give the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group. So they materially supported the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group with 20,000 manpads, because when they allowed the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group to whack Gaddafi with NATO, England, and France, and they whacked the General Yunus from the Gaddafi regime, Gaddafi was a hoarder of manpads. 20,000 Soviet manpads. There were gun running all over the North African, Middle Eastern region was the Obama-Clinton crime family. And it ended up in Afghanistan. The Taliban was using those manpads to shoot at us. They shot down some Chinook helicopters, according to Kenneth Timmerman. This is off the hook. The Obama-Clinton crime family materially supporting, arming radical Islamists in the North African, Middle Eastern region. And then we gave them 400 U.S. Stingers, our own manpads, 6-foot missiles on the shoulder. It's mobile. They can move around, shoot the commercial airliners out of the sky, the helicopters out of the sky, and run. This is crazy. Obama Clinton crime family. President Trump didn't do anything like that. What did he do? He just dropped bombs on Syria. He just dropped bombs if he had to. I mean, he's not afraid to use. He don't want to use military force. But sometimes people need to get a little. He dropped bombs in Syria, right? He did it a few times to let them know that we mean business, right? President Trump's built up our military, and he picked a side here. He's saying, I can't side with Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. The Obama-Clinton crime family did. They're the reasons why Iran is nuking up with Russia. Russia's building nuclear reactors under the guise of, we're doing this for the people. They're not doing it for the people. They don't care about the people, does Iran. What Iran cares about is regional hegemony, military dominance, and economic supremacy comes along with that. Iran is concerned. They're selling. We sanction Iran. Iran sells oil in Malaysia, in the port of Labuan. What Iran does. Iran sells oil. They have a billionaire who's working for the government. And now when the government changed, when it was he was in with Ahmadinejad. Ahmadinejad was the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Now they got this guy Hassan Rouhani, so he plays a different ball, right? He don't want to get thrown out by the people. So the leadership, the mullahs, don't want to get thrown out by the people. So that's why they're worried about the sanctions. They don't care about the people. They just don't want to lose control of the country, because they're getting money from the black markets. They're selling of the oil in Malaysia, in this port, Labuan, selling 20+ million barrels of oil going around the Western sanctions. So our great president is doing an amazing job for us. And to have these Democrats, hey, politics is politics, right? You could say that, you could question, it's America. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to say, but first of all, President Trump isn't a racist. That's a lie. And to say that he's supporting Al Qaeda is really, really, really dishonest. That's very dishonest. You could say you don't agree with his policy. He gave weapons to the Saudis. We could talk it like that. He's not supporting Al Qaeda. I'm not saying they're not Saudi nationals that don't materially support terrorism. There are, right? But he's with the kingdom. He's with that new prince, bin Mohammed, the new heir to the throne. President Trump, because to me, the Saudi kingdom is more concerned about their market share in OPEC. They're more concerned on taking their Aramco, their national oil company, public, than it is regional hegemony, which is really the thirst of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, if you really want to be honest. So, what time is it? I've been on for a while. I'm gonna get off the air now. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook Live. I'm gonna come on tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do quick hits. So I usually broadcast later. So I'm gonna try to broadcast in the afternoon. So because I got a lot of things to do. Thank you, Dan. God bless you. Nora, thank you for the visit. So I'm gonna get out of here now, and I'll be on tomorrow, and I'm gonna talk about because if you go to my website, frankierusso.media, I have blogs there, and I blog some vectors because I'm into uh, different things. So I got this vector. I'm trying to develop an analysis as profound as it could be because I'm on my couch. I have my disclaimer: no outside looking in. We're outside looking in. No U.S. Congressional Oversight Committee. No International Atomic Energy Agency. No Joint Chiefs of Staff. No National Security Council. No access to classified docs. Nor do I know anyone who's access to classified docs, court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open-source articles. What we search for is a quasi-model, quote-unquote statistical significance, in all likelihood, no probability. We look for trends, inferences, and patterns in the data, and then we conceivably reach reasonable, responsible conclusions. And by the way, we believe our conclusions are close. Classified information is the mean. We're within the standard deviation of the mean, the Russo disclaimer. So basically, I sit on my couch, court papers, judges' decisions, peer-reviewed journal articles, and well-sourced, well-researched open source articles. So basically, we believe we're within the realm of statistical significance. The classified information is the mean. So we're within the standard deviation of the mean. And we're creeping toward incontrovertible truth, right? That's the goal. So I got the vectors over there. I'm going to update the vectors on the border. We're going to update the vectors on the border. Hey, Daisy, thank you for watching. So we're going to update the vectors on the border, and we're going to show you from the 9/11 terror cells with Anwar al-Awlaki and Mohammed Atta to the Phoenix 9/11 terror cell to the San Antonio 9/11 terror cell, up the vector from San Antonio to Houston to New Orleans, Louisiana, up through Macon County, Alabama. That's where the jihadi training camp was. It was. And then we moved past Atlanta, Georgia, through Charlotte, North Carolina, into Washington, D.C., into Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Hamas conference in the 90s, into the streets of New York City. So from the poppy fields of Mexico to the streets of New York, that vector, that position vector, President Trump is trying to shut down. President Trump is trying to shut that down like he's trying to shut down Iran's 130 tons to 350 tons of uranium. Absolutely, Daisy. President Trump's trying to shut that vector down because if you just take 1 kilogram of uranium-235, you put it through a nuclear fission process, you got 9 times 10 to the 13 joules of heat energy. That's 9 and 13 zeros. That's a lot of freaking energy for 1 kilogram, 1/1000 part of uranium-235. Iran's got 130 tons to 350 tons of uranium. What are they looking to do? Blow up a continent, a state, a city? And with that border wide open, God forbid, but for the grace of God, anything, some sort of weapon, some sort of nuclear weapon comes through the border. And we got to find out where the hell that thing is. What an horrific thing that could be. That's why we got to shut down that border. And we got to put a fortress over there, because if President Trump was the president 17 years ago, he'd have a fortress on the U.S.-Mexican border. So much so, a cockroach couldn't cross that border without us knowing about it. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. I'm going to come on tomorrow. I'm going to give you an update on why we need the border wall. I'm going to give you why we need the border wall update. I'm going to show you all the vectors that I have on my website. I'm going to show you how and why we need this border wall. We can't, it can't, it's a sieve right now, right? And then the other thing I might talk about tomorrow night, which I'm probably going to start, is this Kelly Moore article on pre FBI investigations pre 9/11 and FBI investigations post 9/11. And it's really interesting. Basically, to cut to the chase, before around September 11th, there was a big thing in New York, the Blind Sheikh Mosque, the Al Farouk Mosque in Brooklyn, the Jersey City Mosque in Jersey City, Muhammad Al Anudi. So what they were doing basically is illegal money transfers from Brooklyn all the way out to North African, Middle Eastern region, like Yemen, right? So the federales had a very, very good idea. They had they had informants. They had a great system on how to infiltrate it and eventually implicate it and shut it down, right? So what happened was the radical Islamists changed their strategy, right? And they got into our infrastructure through the diplomats, through diplomatic visas. So it's curious, right? Mohammed Morsi, we believe, Mohammed Morsi, the former prime minister of Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood president in Egypt, he was educated in America. Mohammed Javad Zarif, the minister of foreign affairs, the former Iranian ambassador to the UN, former executive director of the Levy Foundation, he was educated in America, got all his major degrees. So did Mohammed Morsi, supposedly, right? Then we had the ambassador from Sudanese ambassador, the Mohammed Ahmed Youssef. He got sent back to Saudi for terrorism, and the Sudanese mission was implicated as well. They were unindicted co-conspirators in 1993 World Trade Center bombing. Then we got this Iraqi diplomat that met with Mohammed Atta, one of the 9/11 hijackers, in Prague before September 11, 2001. And then we got the Turkish general counsel, the Turkish ambassador, the Turkish diplomat that met with the last one, apparently, to meet with Ambassador Stevens from Benghazi. So, and then of course, so we're gonna put together this list of diplomats that were involved in aiding and abetting radical Islamists, and then we're gonna put in Hillary Clinton and John Kerry in that group. We believe that when we're done with our analysis, we're going to be able to put in Hillary Clinton, who was a State Department. She was the senior diplomat besides the President of the United States under the Obama-Clinton crime family. And then we got John Kerry, who was the major negotiator with that fake Iranian nuke deal. So basically, this is where we are. Hey, Mary Ann, how are you? So this is where we are, right? So that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to try to cut these presentations down, cut to the chase, and get off the air. I got a lot. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to, we're building the show, and I'm trying to get back on the air on the radio. So we'll see what happens there. I'd love to get back at ABC. That'd be amazing. So we'll see what happens there, and other opportunities that we have that are being discussed. So we'll see what happens on the pipe with the show. Hey, Marianne, thank you for the visit. So I'm going to get out of here. I know I was a little, I ran through things quickly because I don't want to stay on too long. But so that's where I am today. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook Live. God bless you, Dan. Thank you so much. Thank you for checking in. And I'm on YouTube Live. So we're starting a campaign. No platform. And we talked about tonight, Marianne. We responded to, they're calling out our great president, claiming that he's supporting Al Qaeda. I mean, these Democrats are so dishonest. Hey, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. You're a Democrat. You believe in whatever. You're entitled to it. But at least be honest. Be somewhat honest. If you want to question his policy with Saudi Arabia, do that. Don't call him an Al Qaeda supporter. I mean, that's so dishonest, right, Marianne? Dan, very dishonest. So I addressed that, and we talked a little Yankee baseball. So I'm going to get out of here. All right. So thank you all for the visit. God bless you all for the visit, Dan. And I didn't get a chance to say hello. I saw my friend Dylan Crew from the great Gleason's Gym, all the way from Connecticut. He didn't say hi to me, but I saw him come in and watch for a minute. So we got that going on. So, right, Marianne and Dan, thank you all for the visit. God bless you all. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Thank you all. Thank you for providing me with the freedom and enables me to love what I do, and that's broadcast. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Thank you for the visit. And God bless the greatest country on the planet, America. I love my country. I love my country. And God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. You better believe it. I got YouTube and Facebook. This is Frankie Russo. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Dan. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you, Marianne. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it during the day. I don't know how this looks because I got a lot of sun. I usually do it at night, you know. I'm doing it in my couch in the living room. So I usually do it at night. I wanted to see how this was going to go. How do you think it looks? You think it looks good? You think it looks okay? Absolutely, Marianne. Thank you. God bless you. You think it looks okay? I'm on 41 minutes. That's pretty good. Yeah, because I don't want to go on much longer. So I wanted to move fast. I know I threw a lot of information out at once. I just wanted to move fast. I'm going to listen to it. Backlight not good. Okay. So I guess I have to go back to the night, you know. And then when the fall comes, the days get shorter. I don't know. I don't have the. So I'm gonna. That's what I'm. I don't know. We'll see. How's that? Okay. So God bless you all. Thank you all for the visit. I'll see you. We got, of course. We're doing, of course. We did it in 16. We're gonna do it again. Closed drapes need direct light. Thank you, Marianne. So this is Frankie Russo. Frankie Russo. I'll see you all tomorrow. It'll probably be at night because it's Friday. It'll probably be at night. This is Frankie Russo. Okay? And I'll see you in the future. This is Frankie Russo. I'm live on Facebook. And I'll see you in the future. It's afternoon. I'm trying this afternoon thing out. I don't know how it's going to work because I got the sun behind me.